I want to thank the sex worker community. They have shared their life experience with me over the years. Thank you. I share this with you.
No more incredible experience than hanging out with the problem. As it turns out, other things were happening on planet Earth that were not important at all. That would be the Oscars last night. So this may be the first you heard of the Oscars because no one watched any of the movies. We reviewed all of them on Friday, and it turns out the only two that did any box office at all were Wicked and Dune Part 2, and neither one really did particularly well last night. The Oscars itself was semi-apolitical except for one bizarre statement in support of Hamas that happened when a documentary that was all about the evils of the Israelis, like a year and not even a year and a half after the mass murder of Jews on October 7th and the continued holding of hostages in the Gaza Strip. These schmucks got up, a person named Basil Adra, Rachel Jor, Hamdan Balal, and Yuval Abraham. It's not too hard, by the way, to find a left-wing Jew to join along with people who wish to slaughter Jews in order to rip on Israel. Actually, not all that difficult a task. So there's a movie, a documentary called No Other Land, which earned approximately 1/28th of Am I Racist, I believe, at the box office. And these guys got up to talk about how Israel was the problem in the Middle East, the week after Palestinians held a giant ceremony celebrating the strangulation murder of 2 toddlers before returning their dead bodies to the Israelis. But, Hollywood's going to be Hollywood.
About 2 months ago, I became a father, and my hope to my daughter that she will not have to live the same life I'm living now, always fearing settlers' violence, home demolitions, and forest spill displacements that my community, Masafriyatta, is living and facing every day under the Israeli occupation. No other land reflect the harsh reality that we have been enduring for decades and still persist as we call on the world to take serious actions to stop the injustice and to stop the ethnic cleansing of Palestinian people.
The atrocious destruction of Gaza and its people, which must end. The Israeli hostages brutally taken in the crime of October 7th, which must be freed. When I look at Bassel, I see my brother, but we are unequal. We live in a regime where I am free under civilian law, and Bassel is under military laws that destroy his life and he cannot control. There is a different path, a political solution without ethnic supremacy, with national rights for both of our people. And I have to say, as I am here, the foreign policy in this country is helping to block this path. And
these people are high on their own supply.
Why?
I don't need to listen to this schmuck anymore. Honest to God, these just disgusting, truly disgusting. Get up there and stand for Hamas. Let's be real about this. The Palestinian Authority pays terrorists. That's what they literally do. Hamas is a dominant force inside the West Bank. Hamas continues to occupy the Gaza Strip. The Palestinians are, by and large, supportive of terrorism against Israelis and wish to exterminate the state of Israel. The reason that there is a quote-unquote military occupation of these areas and not, domestic home rule by the PA is because every time Israel attempts to withdraw from these areas, terrorists take them over and use them as bases for terrorist attacks. The reason for checkpoints is because of terrorist attacks. The reason that Israel has to maintain a military presence in these areas and put its own people in harm's way is because of Palestinian terrorism and exterminationist hatred for Jews. So yeah, for sure, you definitely should give a Best Documentary Award to this sort of propaganda on behalf of terrorism in the year and a half after the worst terrorist attack on Jews since World War II. Just vile stuff, but, leave it to the Academy. Okay, meanwhile, there were some good things that happened during the show. I think the best moment came when Kieran Culkin was given an award for a movie called A Real Pain. He won Best Supporting Actor. And his speech was really, really charming. He basically suggested that he get his wife pregnant for the 4th time. It was very funny.
About a year ago, I was on a stage like this, and I very stupidly publicly said that I want a 3rd kid from her because she said if I won the award, she would give me the kid. It turns out she said that because she didn't think I was going to win. But and people came up to her and were like, really annoying her. I think it got to her. But anyway, after the show, we're walking through a parking lot. She's holding the Emmy. We're trying to find our car. Emily, you were there, so you're a witness. And she goes, "Oh God, I did say that. I guess I owe you a 3rd kid." And I turned to her and I said, "Really, I want 4. And she turned to me, I swear to God this happened, it was just over a year ago. She said, "I will give you 4 when you win an Oscar." I held my hand out, she shook it, and I have not brought it up once until just now. You remember that, honey? You do? Okay. Then I just have this to say to you, Jazz. Love of my life, ye of little faith. No pressure. I love you. I'm really sorry I did this again. And let's get cracking on those kids. What do you say?
That's great. That's charming and wonderful and hilarious and good for Kieran Culkin. Seriously, like the best thing I've seen at the Oscars in years is that particular moment. It's more on this in a moment. First, let me ask you a question. Do you trust your ISP, your internet service provider? There's a good reason not to. Depending on where you live, ISPs may be required to keep logs of your online activity just in case the government feels like taking a peek. In the US, it's even worse. ISPs can actually sell your browsing history to whoever they want. So what can you do about it? Well, the solution is to get a VPN. The one I use is ExpressVPN. It's an app that reroutes my online traffic through encrypted servers so my ISP can't access it, and neither can data brokers or other third parties. I've been using it like all the time. I travel a lot. Wherever I go, I have to use public Wi-Fi. ExpressVPN keeps me safe. Why do I trust ExpressVPN? Well, any reliable VPN receives data requests from law enforcement and governmental entities. ExpressVPN received over 300 of those requests in the past year alone. None of them resulted in customer data being exposed. 0. Go read their transparency report on their website if you don't believe me. ExpressVPN simply doesn't keep any customer activity logs. They have specially engineered server architecture that runs on volatile memory, so nothing is ever saved to disk. It's private by design. ExpressVPN works on all your devices. It's super easy. You tap one button, now you're connected. Find out how you can get 4 months for free by scanning the QR code on screen, clicking the link in the description box below, or by going to expressvpn.com/Ben Shapiro Show. And then there are some low moments. Like, for example, every prostitute in America has to be thanked. So the movie that won Best Picture is Honora. Honora is the story of a sex worker, which means a prostitute, who cynically marries a half-moron, 18-year-old Russian oligarch's son. And then it turns out that the romance doesn't exactly work, and she's sad. That's the whole movie. Hope you enjoyed it. Well, the guy who won Best Director and Best Picture for it was a guy named Sean Baker, and he felt the necessity to thank the prostitutes. Let's do it.
I want to thank the sex worker community. They have shared their stories. They have shared their life experience with me over the years. My deepest respect. Thank you. I share this with you.
Deep respect for people who sell their body for money. The whole movie, by the way, is a repudiation of that. The reason she's sad at the end is because she has to go back to being a sex worker, and that sucks. It is amazing to me how people in Hollywood will make movies with very clear conservative messages at the end, and they don't even realize the movie they just made. Mikey Madison won Best Actress over, apparently, Demi Moore. So I guess that the plot of the Oscars was just the plot of The Substance, where the young, better-looking young woman apparently wins the Oscar over the older woman. Whoops. Anyway, here is Mikey Madison also thanking the prostitutes of America.
I also just want to again recognize and honor the sex worker community. I will continue to support and be an ally. All of the incredible people, the women that I've had the privilege of meeting from that community has been one of the highlights of this entire incredible experience.
It's true. There's no more incredible experience than hanging out with the prostitutes. Okay, also, Daryl Hannah showed up to show support for Ukraine. Now, I do find it hilarious that Hollywood has decided that this is the same Hollywood that will stand for Hamas will also show support for Ukraine, which is interesting. I have a feeling it has less to do with their support of Ukraine than the fact that Trump does not sufficiently support Ukraine in their view. It's all oppositional. Here is Daryl Hannah doing her routine.
Slava Ukraine.
Okay, well, you saved Ukraine. Great job. Also, Adrien Brody won Best Actor for, again, playing a veteran of the Holocaust. So that he played a very similar part when he won for The Pianist, and now he won again for The Brutalist. And I have to say, it is pretty incredible that he tried to call out anti-Semitism, but Hollywood is so perverse that he can't just call out anti-Semitism in a movie about anti-Semitism. He also has to call out racism and all the rest of it. Like you in Hollywood, the way that it works is you can't say anti-Semitism without saying also racism, sexism, and homophobia. It's like a formula. And if you don't say the magical incantation, then they smite you. Here is Adrien Brody.
I'm here once again to represent the lingering traumas and the repercussions of war. and systematic oppression and of anti-Semitism and of racism and of othering.
Yep, there it is.
And I believe that I pray for a healthier and a happier and a more inclusive world. And I believe if the past can teach us anything, it's a reminder to not let hate go unchecked.
It's always the same crap from Hollywood. It can never be a specific malady. It always has to be racism, sexism, anti-Semitism, bigotry, homophobia. And if you don't say them all at the same time, then obviously it's because you don't like black people enough or something like that. Speaking of black people, apparently we have to have a standing ovation anytime a black person wins any award for the first time. So we're getting low on the list. You know, we've had a black president, we've had a black secretary of state, we've had a black vice president, we've had best actors who are black, best actresses who are black, best directors who are black. And so now we've reached the point where we need standing ovations for the first black man to win best costume design. When we get down to best key grip, and I guess we'll still be doing standing ovations for this, as though, you know, black Americans could never win costume design until this very moment. Here we go.
I'm the first black man to receive the Costume Design Award.
Huge.
For my
Huge. Broke that glass ceiling.
I'm so proud of this.
That was the remaining glass ceiling, guys. We beat racism.
Thank you, everyone in the UK, for all of your beautiful work. I could not have done this without you.
Until this very moment, when a black man finally became the first black man to win best costume design, I thought that racism really was going to triumph in America. But now that Paul Tazewell has become the first black man to win best costume design, I got to say, whew, man, I think we're there, guys. I think finally we're there. Okay, that was the whole Oscars, basically. Conan O'Brien was fine. He didn't do anything particularly shocking or wonderful. He wasn't as annoying as some of the other hosts. He wasn't Jimmy Kimmel or something. Maybe one of the best moments for Conan was joking with Adam Sandler, who showed up in shorts and a t-shirt, basically.
For such a prestigious night, it's important that everyone is properly dressed, okay? You're dressed well. Adam.
Conan, what's up, my brother? What's going on, man?
Adam, what are you wearing?
What are you doing right now?
I'm asking you what you're wearing.
Nobody even thought about what I was wearing till you brought it up!
You're dressed like a guy playing video poker at 2 a.m., Adam.
And you know what, Conan? I like the way I look, because I'm a good person. I don't care about what I wear or what I don't wear. Did my snazzy gym shorts and fluffy sweatshirt offend you so much that you had to mock me in front of my peers?
Hey, I'm sorry.
Okay, so some people like this. I've been reliably informed. I've never been a fan of Adam Sandler so far. That is what it is. Well, that was your Oscars review. It was lackluster, as were virtually all the movies this year. Hopefully we'll do better next year. Well, that's all for now, folks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts down below. Be sure to check out all of the other great content on my channel. I'll see you here next time.